Hey, Booze. Hey, what's up, y'all? Did y'all like that Niggas Ain't Ish song? That song by Doja Cat? Shout out to Miss Amanda Amazing who shared that with me. I love that song. Child, I listened to that and I hollered. I hollered. Shots fired. Doja Cat ain't playing with y'all. She ain't playing with these fools. When she said niggas ain't shit all up in your fridge, can't pay rent, I hollered. Child, listen, been there, done that. And if you're listening to this channel, hopefully you're not there anymore. But my gosh, I said Doja Cat is not playing, and y'all know she really divested. She really lived that life. So she ain't just talking about niggas ain't shit. She actually lived that life because she's dating a bride now. Child. Anyway, so that's our summer anthem, y'all. I'm telling y'all, if y'all live by that motto, you gonna avoid a whole bunch of bullshit. Anyways, hey guys, like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please say what's up to me in the chat. Say hello to me in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you have any tips or any suggestions for any content that you'd like to see, feel free to share that with me at Lexus Exodus channel at gmail.com. Also, once you have a moment, please quickly pause the video. Check out my backup page. It's called LexX. That's LEXEX, and I'll link it in the description below. Shout out to my donors. Shout out to you guys who've been contributing like crazy and who have been supporting the show and who have been making it clear that you want to see the show succeed. You make me smile, guys. So thank you to Sugar Honey Honey. You are so dope, girl, and you are always supporting me, and I am so grateful and so thankful for you. So thank you so much for always contributing to the show. Also, I saw quite a few newbies in the chat who contributed. Thank you so much for that. I'm eternally grateful for you. Special thank you to Katura Love. Thank you to Cherry Cola. All Things Nada Jean. Thank you to Sis. And I say her name like that because she spells sis with 5 S's. So thank you, sis. She donated like 5 times, and I was so blown away and so appreciative about that. So thank you so much, love. I really, really appreciate you. You're incredible. Again, this is a passion project for me. I do this solely because I genuinely love Black women. I want to support us. I want to encourage and affirm us. So I do this all out of love, but I certainly do appreciate all the love and all the support that you guys show. So thank you so much. All right, let's get to it. This is another daily installment of my series called the Blackistan Zoo that premieres Monday through Friday at 6:30 ET. Let's get it. So today we are going to talk about the Conquer Coward. So, like we always do, we'll briefly go through the coward's profile. Then we'll look at some real-time examples of your coward and what they look like, and we'll really closely examine their behavior. So your conquered coward, you can find them under someone's knee. You also can find them somewhere passively getting gunned down for having a broken tail light. They might be selling cigarettes. They're also cowardly getting their ass beat, typically at your local precinct or your local jail cell. So their behavior is just like it sounds, very cowardly. So these conquered cowards are passive Tyrones. They're very, very effeminate. They're very docile, very submissive. But it's important to note that this is only when it comes to Brad, though. So they will be out in the streets, minding their business, and will get checked by Brad. The police will brutally take their lives on camera, and they'll do nothing but wear a t-shirt that says Black Lives Matter in response. They're only passive. When it comes to Brad, though, they're very aggressive when it comes to women. Like we talked about yesterday with Cynthia G and her having that conversation with that Brad who called into her channel. Notice they had all the smoke for Cynthia. She's getting death threats. She's the one getting harassed. None of the smoke for Brian. None of them even challenge him to a phone conversation or a phone dialogue or debate. So they'll buck up and they'll have all the smoke for Black women, but when it comes to defending their lives, when it comes to competing and fighting for resources against other men, they retreat and cower in the corner. So notable conquered cowards. So we think of Colin Kaepernick, like most athletes They'll sit here and make billions of dollars for Brad, who owns these athletic organizations. However, as soon as they display any sort of active disobedience against Brad, the police, or the owners, they're automatically and immediately put in their place. So they're stripped of their resources and checked, and they'll let them know who's boss very quickly. And it's interesting because I didn't do a video on this, but I did see some conversations that happen about his book cover, which shows a dark-skinned Black woman being defiant, saying defund the police. And people were surprised by that. But I think this is very fitting for your conquered clown, your conquered coward. They can't fight their own battles. They expect women to do that for them. And so that's why you'll see him making Black women the face of this movement, as opposed to the men who are supposed to be on the front lines and who are supposed to be defending their lives themselves. They're not going to be on that cover because they're cowards. Also, we think of Nick Cannon. So he's gotten checked by Brad. You know, he gets his check signed by Brad, then had the nerve to fix his mouth and say some anti-Semitic shit. And they got his ass together real quick, and showed him who was boss. And then he did an apology tour of him backtracking and bussy popping, you know, begging for his coins and trying to get his job back. And then we can think of a slew of other Nignogs who've gotten their lives ripped away from them, because as a collective, Tyrones are conquered, they're easily overpowered, and they are very easily forced into submission. So now that we know the profile of your conquered coward, I want to look at a few examples of the coward in their natural habitat so we can really analyze their innate behavior. So let's watch this, or this is actually a picture I wanted to share with you guys. So just a moment, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Do you see this? Can y'all see this? So what we are looking at is a boy being held at gunpoint as a joke. And the caption says, "George Floyd Challenge." Do you see, and this is one thing that I think is important to note, do you see how these conquered cowards start off? They begin this cowardly behavior very, very young. He's smiling, he's laughing, even the little Tyrone is smiling. But it's like, even if this is a joke, who the F does that? Who does that? You never let anyone point a gun at you, even if it's not loaded. That's just common sense. But this Tyrone here, he is very submissive, he is very passive, and he is illustrating that this docile nature starts very young. Let's look at this next conquered coward as he interacts with his Becky. So let's watch that again, because I know this one was, this happened pretty quickly, but I want you guys to catch this. So I'm going to rewind and let's rewatch. So, okay, so what we just watched is this beluga whale picking up her conquered coward and dropping him. And he has a big old Kool-Aid smile. And that's because he is really able to illustrate his innate behavior. This is so natural to him to be docile and to be passive. We do know, though, if that was a Black woman, she would have a black eye, though. But this Becky, she's not afraid of him doing anything in retaliation, because she knows that if he even so much as lays a finger on her, that he is going to face an immense amount of backlash from Brad, and he's intimidated by that. So he just laughs it off. I want to show you this other video, and this is actually one that Cynthia G shared a while back of this conquered coward engaging in a fight at Walmart and passively smiling and just almost getting his ass beat. I couldn't find this video on its own by itself, so I'm going to share this clip within this video. It's like maybe about 30 seconds, and then we'll chat.
Right? You want to see my back pick right now? Call the cops. Yeah, call the cops right now. That's what I'm tired of. You guys like black people. You guys are so fucking strong. Yeah, you guys think you're so fucking strong and everything. Right? Come on, make a move, dude. Come on. Come on. Say what? Excuse me. Get out of here. Yeah. One snap just came out. I was already poking on snap. Poking on snap. Yeah, that's what we're here for too.
Okay. Well, a mess. So did y'all see that conquered little bit? So he did nothing, and this Brad is sitting here kicking him, is literally trying to assault him, and he's sitting there passively smiling, again with a big Kool-Aid smile. And they are even similar sizes, so let's see if we can go back. They're similar sizes. Brad is begging this man to defend himself, and he does nothing. He's talking about Pokemon, a grown-ass man talking about Pokemon. And it's crazy because the damn Becky bucked up more than he did and defended him more than he did himself and made that man leave. But this is your conquer coward, and this is cowardly behavior. This is very, this is what you'll see. This is very typical for your conquered coward. So let's look at this next coward getting punked by another man of a different ethnicity. And we'll watch this quickly and then we will chat. This is another video as well.
Take that shit to your house. You take that shit to your house and you talk to your fucking bitch like that. You understand? You talk to your fucking wife like that. You understand? Anybody else but mine. I told you you wasn't going to call me to stand like that. I told you you was going to be a pussy. You stand there. What's your problem, bro? What's your fucking problem, bro? You want fucking female like that, right? I'm a fucking dude with something.
Okay. So this Nignog that we're watching called this man's wife a punta. He was all buck and had his chest poked out. And that is until her husband came and checked his ass. And it's like, you know, these men they command respect. And he does. He backs away and he passively he goes ahead and submits. And I remember this reminded me being at the airport recently during our vacation a few months back. And my husband was walking quickly because we were trying to get to our flight. And I darted in front of this guy, just making sure that, you know, we stayed next to each other so we didn't lose one another. And the dude literally walked all over me, like stepped all over the back of my shoes. And it's like, okay, I get it. You know, I had to cut across and that was probably annoying, but it's like, no, you don't get to just trample me, fool. Well, anyway, he had his chest all puffed up, but as soon as my husband stepped in and made it clear that we were together and he realized that, and that was my husband, he sped up and passively just walked away. And this is what I mean, though. This is what I mean. Globally, we know that Brad, he'll fight wars. He is powerful. He dominates. He does what needs to be done to secure and protect and provide for his family. But not this conquered coward. Not this Daquan, who just retreats and cowers in the corner. He had all the smoke for this little woman who is like a foot smaller than him. But as soon as her husband comes, he immediately, he knows what's what, and he cowers and retreats like a little bit. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this next clip too that I came across. This one is Judge Joe Brown and his drunk, illiterate ass. But we know that a broken clock can be right twice a day. In this video, he illustrates the problematic nature of these conquer cowards. So I want to watch that and then let's chat. And y'all, if y'all hear snoring in my background, I got a Morkie. She's so freaking cute, but for some reason she just snorts all the time and snores all the time. So if y'all ever hear like grunting or anything like that, it's because it's my puppy. She's so daggone loud. I'll be looking at her like just messing up my videos, child. But it's not me breathing all heavy like a fat person. It's my little puppy. Anyways, let's watch this.
You know what's bad about George Floyd? George Floyd is 6'7", 250 pounds, and he didn't get shot. Essentially, got his ass whooped by a 5'8" tall, 135-pound white man who killed him with no weapons.
And he was crying.
Crying for his mama. And that is so damn embarrassing. You put yourself in a position of being damn near OD'd on fentanyl, which is not a black drug anyway. That's the one that causes 62% of each year's opiate-related deaths. And we got to make a statue of somebody who's 6'7", 250, and got his ass whooped.
Who contribute nothing to the black community.
He's tall, 135-pound white man.
Oop.
Contribute nothing. Should he have died? No. But should you sit up here and what do you say, commemorate, make it to a martyr? No.
No. I mean, it was bad, but I mean, he's no martyr. I mean, look at all of the other black folk that died, and you want to focus on him. Who put that out there?
So I said this. What would make them create that statue or holidays, George Floyd Day or whatever? Do the Democrats get money? Like, do local government officials get money from the state or the federal government if they do that? Or from the Democrat Party?
The inmates have taken over the asylum.
Okay, so he goes down a rabbit hole and starts talking about some other ish, but I just want to focus in on what he said about GF and the problematic nature, the problematic fact and aspect that we turned this man into a martyr. Even though this man was a big, huge Tyrone and got his ass whipped by a little brat who was unarmed. And he even talks about how he was crying for his mom and how he still got a knee to the neck and was a coward. And he goes on and he continues to talk about how problematic it is that Blackistan celebrates these cowards. He talks about how he was high off of fentanyl. He also, I don't know if he mentioned this, but we know, it's well documented that this man had previously been arrested for physically assaulting a pregnant woman. And it's like, how are we turning this man into some type of hero, a martyr, making statues and murals and shit for this fool, even though he had contributed nothing to society? In fact, he was a leech of society. He was a pariah. He was a drug addict. He was someone who physically assaulted women. But this is your conquered coward. And this is what is promoted and what is normalized in Blackistan. Very submissive, very passive, docile, physically abusive to women, men that we like to celebrate. All right, I want to share this last story with you guys, and I want to give you a trigger warning because this involves violence against a child. But I think this really epitomizes your conquered coward and how problematic his nature and how problematic his thought process and ideology is. So let's see. I think this is a news clip, so let's watch this and then we will talk through.
Stop him. I got it. I got mine. You can get it. Here, take it, go.
Whew. So it's hard to make out here, but this man is using his baby boy as a human shield during a shootout. Just trifling. And her mother effing stupid ass is sitting there.
Oh my God.
Just a jog away watching this shit while there's a damn shootout happening. But anyway, so if you can't make out what's happening, this stupid Nicknog, this dumb, evil, demonic nigger is involved in a shootout with the police. And he ends up, instead of facing his problems like a man, he ends up using his son as a human shield during the altercation. Y'all, please stop having kids with these fools. Please stop having kids with these fools. And you know, it's always said that the most unprotected person in the world is a Black woman. You know what? When I think about that, I really like to challenge that and say that the most unprotected groups of people are Black children. Because at least with Black women, you know, we are adults. We can try our best to defend ourselves. We can be armed. We can, you know, remove ourselves from situations and stand up for ourselves. But these babies, they have no chance. They have no chance in Blackistan. Because we just watched this man using his poor baby, his infant, as a shield during a shootout. And it's like, okay, so you want to be in the streets, you want to be a thug and commit crime and gangbang, steal and kill. Cool, that's what y'all always do. But you need to be man enough to handle those consequences that come along with that. But no, just like a coward, this conquered coward sacrifices the baby to save his own damn life. Stop having children with these fools, y'all. Please stop. There's a reason why molestation rates, why assault rates, pedo rates, abuse rates are so much higher for Black children. It's because there are no men, no prominent father figures to protect them, no strong father figures. They're cowards like this fool. It reminds me, and of course this isn't as an extreme example, but remember that man who jumped on a car and left his baby girl on the ground because he saw a pit bull? And he's screaming like a little bitch on top of the car while his baby is crying for help. Stop having babies with these fools, y'all. Because in Blackistan, you're dealing with a group of conquered cowards. They've been beaten into submission. They've been passively stripped away of all their resources, all their dignity. They're punks and a bunch of pansies. And this is why we'll see Kaepernick with a book about abolishing the police with an angry Black woman on the cover as a face of the movement. This is why on the front lines, you only gonna see Black women's silly self attempting to make strides, facing gunfire on the front lines while the men are at home with their feet kicked up. This is why we got to be the heads of the households. This is why we got to be the movers and the shakers. We got to be the ones building the businesses. We got to be the ones who are becoming educated at a rate higher than anyone else in the country. It's because our counterparts are cowards. So I'm good, y'all. I'm good. I want to be a woman. I want to be able to be feminine. I want to be able to rest in my femininity. I don't want to be out here being forced to fight and claw and be fighting with other men out in corporate America trying to, get resources, out there fighting against other men because my man can't do it. I want to be able to nurture and love on my children. I want to be able to rear and raise them. not be sitting here scratching and clawing, muling, working, OT, working night shifts, double shifts, just to make ends meet. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to be able to be confident that if something happens to myself or my children, that person, I'm going to be protected, one, and that person will have to face severe repercussions. Not have your kid be gunned down for going to get, a box of Skittles and nothing happens. This man, next thing you know, he on TV and he's selling paraphernalia, making money off of murdering your son. Who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with that? Y'all, leave these cowards alone. Divest, y'all. All right. Until next time. See you guys. Bye.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.